Yeah, let's cover percentages. I'm going to get through as much of this as I can. I might have to make two videos out of this just because it can be kind of long. So there might be two. Just I'll let you know as we get there. Or if you see two videos, you know what happened. So percent literally means per 100 or parts per 100. So when we write 40%, this is equivalent to the fraction 40 divided by 100. Or the decimal, if you put 40 divided by 100 in your calculator, you'll get 0.4. Okay, 0.40. Notice that 80 out of 200 and 10 out of 25 are also 40% because 80 divided by 200 gives us the 0.4, which is 40% as well. They're showing you the other direction as far as taking the 80 divided by 200 and reducing it is what they did. And then they multiply it. Just don't. If you want to look at it, that's great. But I just want to go to example one. Write each of the percent. So to start with, for A, you've got 1/4. You've got to take your calculator, if you don't know what 1/4 is, and take 1 divided by 4 equals, and that's 0.25. You can't go straight from a fraction to a percentage. So you've got to go from fraction to decimal to percentage. Okay. So fraction to decimal would be 0.25. That's just putting it in your calculator. To get from a decimal to a percent, from a decimal to a percent, you're going to have to do this a lot in this section and in the next module as well, for the next two modules. You take the decimal and you multiply it by 100, and then you add the percent sign. So to percent is going to be, you're going to multiply it by multiply it by 100, and you're going to get 25%. For B, you get 0.02 to change from a decimal to a percent, just multiply by 100 and add the percent sign. C is 2.35. Changing it from a decimal to a percent, multiply it by 100 and add the percent sign. That's it. All right. I know this is a you try, but I want to go over this just to make sure you understand it. So the first one's a fraction, and that's 3/5. I'm putting that in the calculator. I get 0.6 for a decimal. Now to change it to a percent, I just have to take that 0.6 times 100, and I get 60 and add the percent sign. Okay. To go backwards from a decimal to a fraction, I have to look to see what place this last value is. The 2 is in the hundredths place. So this is just 2 over 100. But when you have a fraction, you always want to provide it in the reduced format. So 2 will divide into both of these. I'm going to divide both by 2. And I get 2 divided by 2 is 1, and 100 divided by 2 is 50. So that would be my fraction for 0.02. Going the other direction is easier. Going from 0.02 to a percent is just multiplying by 100 and adding the percent symbol. Going from a percent to a decimal, and we haven't done this yet, that is taking the percent and dividing by 100. So to go from a percent, so from a decimal to a percent, we multiply by 100. From a percent to a decimal, we have to divide. It's just the opposite, divide by 100. All right, so I'm going to take this 72 and divide it by 100, and I get 0.72. There's my decimal. To change this to a fraction, I again look to see who's in the furthest place to the right, and that's my hundredths value. So 72 divided by 100, and I can reduce this. I know by 2. Let's see what that gives us. 36 over 50. Well, wait a minute. Okay, hold on. I need a separate sheet of paper here. I can do it down here maybe. So we've got 72 over 100. I'm reducing by 2, and I get 36 over 20. Nope, I don't get 25. 50. 36 over 50. But these are both even numbers, so I can reduce it again by 2. So divide 36 by 2, I get 18. 50 divided by 2, I get 25. This is only made up of 5 and 5. So now I'm done. So 18 over 25. Nope, wrong one. So messed up today. All right, now let's go with 0.025. We're going to want to change that from a decimal to a percent. Decimal to a percent, we multiply 25 by 100. We get 2.5 and add your percent symbol. Now, for going to a fraction, this 5 is in the thousandths place. So this has to be 25 over 1,000. I know they're both divisible by 25. So 1,000 divided by 25 is 40. So this is just 1 over 40, right? 4.5 change to a decimal. All you have to do is go 1 divided by 2 plus 4. Oop, 4 makes that a 4. And it's 4.5. Again, to change it from a decimal to a percent, 4.5 times 100, and that's 450%. All right, that was 4.1. 4.2 is applications involving percentages. So applications means we're going to be dealing with word problems at this point. Remember, there's 3 things I look for a word problem: a complete sentence, correct rounding, and correct units. So be very careful with this. I had given you in class 3 formulas. I gave you, I'm going to come over here and do this. Percent, if you're looking for a percent, that's just part divided by whole. But I also told you, well, you want it to be a percent, so then you have to multiply that by 100 and add a percent sign, okay? To solve for a part, that's just your percent in decimal form divided by, times your whole. And then the whole is your part, is your percent in decimal form divided by part. Okay. So 243 people out of 400 state they like dogs. What percent is this? So they're asking for the percent. So we know to use the formula, percent is equal to part divided by whole. And then we're going to multiply it by 100 to get our percent. Now I need to figure out who's the part and who's the whole. Well, 243 out of 400 means 400 is my whole and 243 is my part. All right, so that's 243 out of 400 is 0.6075 times 100 is 60.75. So 60.75% of these people, we can just say people, like dogs. All right, there's my sentence. Correct units. I did not have to round because it was a nice number, and that is done. Let's go to the next one. This is a U try. Okay, this is the same thing. 237 out of 5. So this is a U try. Let's go to the ones that are not the U try. The sales tax in a town is 9.4%. How much tax will you pay on a $140 purchase? So we need to know what is the part, the whole, and the percent. All right, we've got a percent, but the percent has to be in decimal form. So I'm going to take my 9.4% and change it to a decimal by dividing it by 100, and I get 0.094. So that's my percent. How much tax will you pay on a $140 purchase? Well, the $140 purchase is going to be the whole, because sales tax is not going to make up the whole piece. It's going to be very minimal of what you pay. So we're looking for the sales tax. Part is the sales tax. And the whole is the $140. So we're looking for part. Part is equal to, and I give you a formula, part is equal to percent times whole. Percent in decimal form times whole. So my part is 0.094 times 140. And I get 1316. This is a word problem, so I need to answer it in a sentence form, correct rounding, and correct units. All right, so how much tax will you pay? You will pay $13.16 in tax. All right. I didn't have to round here because I already got the correct rounding whenever I put it in my calculator. But one of the things you need to understand is in America, in the United States, when you were dealing with money, the lowest form denomination of money we have is a penny, and the penny is represented by this place here. So we need to always go to the hundredths place for our rounding for our money. So, and we didn't have to do so here because it was already given. And that is my answer. All right, again, skipping the try, I'm going to go to the next example just to make sure you have all of the examples you need. A lender requires a minimum down payment of 12% of the value of the home. You already have $22,020 in cash available to use as your down payment towards a home. Now, I know none of you have purchased a home, or they're telling us this one class, no one has purchased a home. When you go to buy a home, the bank is not going to just give you everything you need for your house for a loan. They're not going to just, you can't walk in and say, I want to buy this $100,000 house. Can you loan me $100,000? No. They want some skin in the game. They need some collateral. So that is when you're going to say, well, hey, I've got $22,020 that I can give you to show you that I am legit about paying this back because I'm investing this money by giving you my $22,000. All right, so that is only part of the purchase price of the home. All right, that is actually 12% of the purchase price of the home. All right, so we want to find out how much of a value of a home we can buy with this $22,000 and $22,020, and to see what that is for 12% of a value of a home. So we've got percent here, which is 12%. We need to change that to a decimal by dividing by 100. We've got a part, which is our $22,020. And we're looking for the whole, which is the max value you can finance. Max value of home you can finance. All right. So we're looking for the whole. And I gave you a formula earlier that the whole is equal to percent divided by part. All right, percent is 0.12 divided by part, which is 22,020. That's backwards. Okay. Without even calculating, I know that's backwards. It's part divided by percent. I already know that. Okay, so I don't know why it's part divided by percent. I'm so sorry, y'all. I know this is going to turn out nasty otherwise. $22,020 divided by 0.12. So please make sure that your whole is equal to part divided by percent, not the other way around. Human errors. All right, so now we can take that $22,020 and divide it by 0.12, and we get 183,500 is the max value of the home you can finance. Is the max value of the home you can finance. So that just means with the $22,020 that you can put down on a home, if that's 12% of the max value of the house, then the max value of the house is 183,500. All right, let's go down here to example 5. Nope, not doing these. I told you in class we're not doing these because there's nothing to calculate. It was just a discussion, same thing for the basketball. We are now moving to 4.3. All right, this one. Absolute and relative change. So absolute change is the ending quantity minus the starting quantity. All right. I think I want to hit this in the next video. I'm going to go ahead and mess this up. I'm going to stop recording. We'll hit this in the next video.